This 2004 Competition Orange SVT Cobra Terminator is one of the most famous Terminators out there. I've done videos about famous internet cars, and this is one of them for sure. When you read through the comments on Instagram, a lot of people said, I love this car, this was the screensaver on my computer or on my phone for a long time. This car made me want to buy a Terminator, the stance on this car is perfect. People say that they wanted Competition Orange because of this car. And let's remember, in 2004 when Competition Orange came out, it was a rather bold color, and I don't think a lot of people liked it a lot. I remember personally, I thought it was kind of a ricer color. And that's kind of hard for me to say because I own Competition Orange and I don't really like to admit that I used to think of it that way. I know that when this car was out, the Fast and the Furious movies were getting pretty big, and the Supra from Fast and the Furious was bright orange, and it kind of seemed like it was more of an import color, kind of a custom color thing going on. But Ford did make it, and I remember when the color came out. And let's remember that back in the 60s, these colors were popular, like Hugger Orange on the Camaros and Grabber Orange and the other oranges that were on the Boss 429, like Calypso Coral. So I guess you can say it is a traditional color for a muscle car. But looking at this car, there's something unique about it, and it's the license plate. It says Termin 8. It's a Terminator license plate. And the cool thing about it is a Utah plate. And if you know, I'm from Utah, and this car was known in Utah. And right after I bought my Azure Blue 2003 Mach 1 Mustang, my friend from northern Utah was talking to me on the phone, and he was walking through a parking lot, and he said, hey, there's a bright orange Mustang right here. It says it's SVT Cobra on the back of it. And I was like, oh man, I think I know the car. He said, yeah, it's got these really crazy wheels on it. And so that was really interesting. My friend happened to be walking right past this car when he was on the phone with me talking. I never got to see the car in person. But it was a Utah car, and these pictures were taken in Las Vegas on top of a popular photo taking spot for car people. And I think this is really cool, not only to see these great pictures, but to know that this car actually drove through my town to get to Vegas. It had to go down I-15, so it's really cool to know that that car had passed through town, and if I was in the right place at the right time, I would have seen it going down the freeway. So let's talk about these wheels for a minute. Everybody asks him, what wheels are those? What wheels are those? And he said that they're actually a custom three-piece forged wheel, and he had them done 3 times in chrome like that, and every time he had them done with a custom offset, it always turned out wrong. It was off by X amount of millimeters. He had to send them back 3 times, and he got really upset about it because he paid a lot of money for these wheels. He said that the offset was wrong, and on the 3rd time he just kept them even though it wasn't exactly how he wanted them, but he had paid a lot of money for them, and a month later the chrome started peeling off him, made him really upset. He told the guy about it, and the guy blamed the wheel cleaner he was using. He said that he was using a Meguiar's chrome cleaner, and the wheel company said, oh no, that's what it was. It was that chrome cleaner you used. You should have just used soapy water. So he got really upset about it, and he threatened a lawsuit over it because he had paid a lot of money for these wheels. Now, the rear tire size, because everybody asks, is a 335/30/18. And so that's really wide, and the offset makes them stick out even farther like that. So after all this problem with the wheels and the chrome peeling, he decided that he's going to keep the wheels, but he was going to do something rather bold with it. And so the next thing he did was change the color on the wheels. And so, kaboom! He did them with a orange lip, black center, and orange lug nuts and orange rivets, or whatever you want to call that piece that make the 2-piece wheel come together, the little Allens or hardware, whatever you want to call it. So a lot of people liked this look. They thought it was really bold. It was really good looking. The nice thing about wheels is if you don't like them, they're very easy to change out. You just take them off, and you're going to change tires a lot of times anyway, so you could always go back. I like keeping stock wheels around if I do go to a different wheel, because then I have it always there to change back. And speaking of tires, he went through several sets of tires, and he did some really good burnouts in this car, and there's YouTube videos about it. I will put a link in the description. I will put his Instagram name right here so you can follow him if you wanted to. And these are really good pictures. This is when he was out doing some burnouts and really running the car, finishing off some old tires. This car was driven a lot. As a matter of fact, it was daily driven. This car had a lot of miles on it, and we're going to get to that in a minute here. But like I said, the car was in northern Utah, and I like seeing these pictures because I've been to places like this, and I've seen those same mountain ranges in the background. It's very familiar to me. And this is the Utah Stangs Facebook page. They have a cruise that they go on, and this is a competition orange Mach 1 that he met up with, and I had talked to the guy with the orange Mach 1 through Instagram. We had messaged back and forth a little bit. He also had kind of the same thing going on with the orange wheels, so that's kind of a cool picture. It's cool to know that these two cars were together for a little while. There's a dark shadow gray Terminator. I remember that car too. I talked to that guy once or twice, and so it's really cool to see the northern Utah guys getting together. This picture of him going by wingers and getting a reflection, I think that's a really cool picture for a few reasons. First of all, I know that place. I've been there. It's downtown Salt Lake. It looks really cool seeing the car go through the windows there, and that's a sight that car people recognize. A lot of us look at our cars as we're going down the road, especially when it's reflecting in windows and places like that. It's always fun to see your car. It always looks so good going through the city like that. So I like that picture. I think it's really cool. I've done that myself. There's a place here in town I go by, and every time I can't help but look over and see my car go through, and I think, man, that car looks so good right now. So really cool to see the car in northern Utah, places I've been. Here's another cool picture with the Mr. Chrome Terminator on the Utah Stangs hangout. I like this picture with the sunglasses. I have a picture just like that with my Azure Blue Mach 1 that I took a while ago. But Utah Stang Cruise, this is a famous picture for the Utah Stang guys. Big meetup. He's in there somewhere with the Comp Orange Mach 1 as well. So then he decided to move to Florida. And so the car went all the way across the country to Florida. And you can see he made friends in Florida. There's a Red Fire Terminator and a Coyote and some other cars there. And so it's really cool in the car world. No matter where you go, it seems like you can always find a group of friends. And there he was fitting in, taking pictures with these guys now. And Florida was really cool. But something in Florida, I don't know whether it was just the move or his life situation changing or whatever happened. When he was there, he decided to go ahead and put the car up for sale. He was in love with the car, but he decided it was time for something new. And something that a lot of people didn't know about this car, that it was daily driven and everything, was that it had over 200,000 miles on it. I think that's incredible. I think it's awesome to see a Terminator Cobra with that many miles, reliably driven, and this car was modified. So the car was basically a pulleyed Cobra. It had a 2.76 Metco supercharger pulley, Division X dual bearing idler pulleys, AccuFab single blade throttle body and polished plenum, cold air intake, Excel air filter, boost bypass mod, PCV filter, PPRV delete, Ford Racing M55 catback, cat delete, Mac off-road, pro chamber, full-length subframe connectors, low-profile IRS subframe bolts, urethane bushing kit, H&R sport springs, which are very sought after. A lot of people like those, the H&R SS, they're the sport springs. IRS brace, forged three-piece wheels that were satin black with comp orange lip. And the wheel sizes were 18 by 11 with a 5-inch lip. and the front were 18 by 9 with a 2-inch lip, and the Toyo R888 tires, and then the satin black billet hood vents and satin black Cobra bumper inserts. And the interior was beautiful. Some people take really good care of their things, and I think he's one of those people. This shows that you can have a car with a lot of miles on it and take good care of it, and it will last and it will be nice. Now, he put up these things on Instagram. How much should I sell the car for? He had it on eBay. He had a lot of people suggest 10 to 12,000. Some people said 16. He started out with it on eBay for 16,000, and he got some offers here and there, and I don't know if that made it so that he kind of didn't want to sell the car anymore because a lot of people gave him trouble for the mileage. At this point, the car had 210,000 miles on it. But a lot of people also said this is a very famous car. It's internet famous. I love it. But if you look at the car, the bumpers are starting to fade. That's a competition orange thing. It's real hard to find a high mileage car that's been out in the sun that doesn't have that with the competition orange. And so the car wasn't perfect, but it sure was great, and it was in very good shape. I talked with Danny Johnson about it. I talked about buying the car myself. I was looking for another Terminator at the time. I hadn't bought my 10th anniversary yet, and I really considered this car. I thought that would be a really fun car. You could drive it, you could probably race it around, and if something went wrong with the engine, it's okay. It's probably time for a rebuild, and if you get it cheap enough, that'd be okay. As far as the paint matching the bumpers goes, I know that's really difficult when it's fading like that, so I was kind of turned off with that. But the thing was, now the car was in Florida, and so it's all the way across the country. If it was for sale when it was here in Utah, I probably would have been more likely to buy the car, but I liked it. I thought it was really cool. I already have a competition orange Terminator, so having two of the same car, I like the idea, but maybe I wouldn't have really gone for it. So I don't know whether I would have bought the car or not. But I did consider it. You know, I saw what it was going for. I talked to my brother about it. And anyway, it's a really cool car, really famous. The car did sell. I don't know exactly what it sold for. Here's the video of the car leaving when he sold the car, and he told everybody, don't be sad. I'm very happy with my next step in life, and we're really happy to have the Corvette. The car did me well for 210,000 miles. But he ended up getting a Z06, a 2016 Z06 in black, and you know, he's going to enjoy that car for a long time, I'm sure. But this car is a beautiful car. It was a Utah car, so I like it a lot for that reason. A lot of people love this car, had it on their screensaver and everything. So this is just a little story about a 2004 Competition Orange Cobra. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for more of these videos. I appreciate all the nice comments everyone leaves in the videos. Thanks for your support.